back again, back again, back again. I think I always say back again, don't I? I don't know. I got a couple different versions of Amazing Grace. It's actually never actually played the Son of Merlin. As much as love the song, if you guys want a really good version of the song, Serena Ryder. It's like an early video of her just with her and a guitar and webcam. It's like the best version I've ever heard. Anyways, but I used to always play that first thing with just a single note. So that's the way I used to play on guitar all the time. And about 2 years ago, I sat down, like, I want a way of playing this that's better than this. So I sat down, and at the time I had my guitar tuned to an open D, which kind of works out perfect for the Merlin. So what I did, I'm not used to getting a guitar in here, is figured out a way of doing it all like that on guitar. So guitar open tuning is you tune I've open D, which is both E's become tuned down to D's. Your A string stays the same. Your G string stays, no, sorry. E, A, B. So E becomes D. A stays the same. G stays the same. Sorry, D stays the same. G gets tuned down to F sharp. B gets tuned down to A. And then E becomes D. And that's your open D tuning on guitar. So what I did is I sat down, and I usually don't do guitar things on here, but the whole Merlin is based off what I figured out with less strings on a Merlin though. And so on and so on and so on. So you can see too, I've talked in the past my finger picking method with 2 fingers. That's what it is with 2 fingers, you know. That's all I do when I do guitar. But so then I sat down like, okay, now how do I do that in Merlin? Because I don't have all those drone strings that I do have in guitar. And then you go back a couple videos ago, I did that fingerstyle one, pretty much all about the Willie Nelson song, On the Road Again. And I basically take that style, switched up a little bit, and I combine the strum and the finger picking, and it kind of worked out for the Merlin. It's a long story, but so what we're gonna do is I did those three beginnings, 3 parts in the beginning. We're gonna start with just a very basic single notes. So you can just see where that is, and then we'll do the strumming way, and then we'll do what I'm doing for the finger picking, which all 3 are the same. For your notes, you're just changing the way you do it. So we'll start basic, Amazing Grace. So that's your basic melody all throughout the whole song, right? I don't know. Do you guys need me to do that again? I think you guys can get it from that, right? That's a slow enough version. So now, to do that, you put chords behind it. So what are you using? You're using your D. Open, open, open. You're using your G, which you're going to do 3, 1, open. You're going to use your A, which is going to be 1, 0, 1. And you're going to use your A up top, which is going to be 4, 4, 4. That's basically it. So we start the same way. So that you're going to do a little different. Because before you go there, but with using that the whole chord, we're going to use a chord to do it. So let's just try that again. That's the only place you use the low A. Just that second last note. The other A's was when we were up here. So that's the basic strumming. Now, to change it and do some finger picking on there. If you watch that finger style video I did, that'll give you a basic idea of how I'm doing this. But we do change it up a little bit. So basically what this whole thing is, like I said in the other video, is every time you're doing a melody note and you're changing, you're doing a strum. And every time you're in a fixed position and nothing's changing, you're doing the finger pick. That's basically how I do it. So the easiest way to explain this is that every time you go to a new chord, it's that's basically the pattern. So it's strum, bass, strum, bass. No. Yeah. Strum. Yeah. So strum, bass, drum, bass. Why did I screw it up as soon as I start talking? So don't listen to me talk, just let's watch so I don't screw it up. So it's basically strum, bass, and then rake. You do your 3 notes, just rake them back. So knowing that, let's go through one more time here. It's one of those things that's not gonna come overnight, especially if you're just starting out. It's 20 years in, I play and I still have trouble with finger picking. Granted, it's not something I do all the time, but if I practice it more, it'd be easier for me, right? But like I said, for me, I just do the thumb and the forefinger, and that's it. Thumb and the pointer, not the forefinger. And there's times where I will use the middle finger, but that's only when you're hitting two notes at the same time. And that's the only time it ever happens. It has to be where I can't move them independently of each other. They have to be together. So if I'm going like that, it's not a big deal. But I can't. To do something like that, it's just beyond me. There's people out there that it's just make it look so simple, but it's like anything else, practice and patience, right? They took time at it. But for the finger picking on this one, it's the pattern I showed you is for the most part what's throughout the song. There's other times where you do have to change it up a little bit just to get the right timing. So just watch it a few times and see where I'm changing it. I've done it slow enough that you should be able to. It's a great thing about YouTube. Just rewatch and rewatch and rewatch. It won't give me more views if you just stay at the same time. Every time you have to rewatch a part, reload the video so I get another view. That works. Alright, that's it. Amazing Grace on Seagull, Merlin. Playing melody, strumming, and finger picking. All three. We'll see you guys next time. Practice patience. Have fun.